What is up, homies? Welcome back to another movie watch-along from Heroes Reforged. We say watch-along. Sometimes it's a reaction. It kind of depends. For this special occasion, we are watching Dune Part 1 in 3D. Oh, yeah, I'm wearing my 3D glasses.
Glorious 3D.
Glorious 3D. Yeah. If you haven't seen our uncut reactions for all the movies and shows that we've been watching, we did watch Morbius just for you guys. You're welcome. It was a lot of fun. But you can check those out on Patreon. We're also doing the Chexkins podcast live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're obviously doing this in anticipation of Dune Part 2. I just saw this literally 3 days ago as of this recording in IMAX, and it was so good.
I rewatched this like a week or two ago, like a while ago, but recently a while ago.
Have you seen this in 3D before?
Oh, yeah.
Is that how you watched it?
Oh, yeah. I don't watch movies that are in 3D.
Not in 3D.
I don't do that. Even if you were like, Hector, do you want to get an exclusive screening, super duper high-tech Dune screening? Denis Villeneuve's going to be there. He's going to shake your hand afterwards. He's going to talk to you. It's going to be up on a space station. Do you want to go free?
Is it in 3D?
Is it in 3D?
I'd be like, is it in 3D? And you're like, no, it's in 2D. Super high def, IMAX, 4K.
4K, not 4XD.
I'm
going rumbly seats.
I'll watch it at home.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right.
I think so. We got our beers.
We do.
We got our movie times.
Is ready to go.
Let's
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Give me the water.
So cool.
Ooh, that's creepy.
That's crazy.
It's not bad.
It's not too bad. There's some things that I could fix, but overall, it's stuff that as an artist, I was like, just let my shot pass.
Yeah.
This is great. Great combination. Info dump.
Yeah, exposition,
but also
like he's learning.
He has to learn about this place. They're going to this place.
We just watched a movie today that had exposition that was done so poorly.
Traveling all this way for this formality. 3 guild navigators, a total of 1.46 million, 62 salaries round trip.
Damn, expensive.
So in the future, it's very interesting how Frank Herbert wrote a sci-fi story where like his story was already anti-computer. So at some point in human evolution and human history, they were like, we can't rely on computers.
Yeah, because Cyberdyne took over.
So that's why people started to focus on mental ability and kind of pass that on and kept training it. So there are people that basically can do computer level computations in their head. Also kind of where the Bene Gesserit, the women that Rebecca Ferguson come from.
There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Man, he looks so good in the beard.
He needs to keep that beard.
It's crazy.
It's a good beard.
House Atreides accepts.
Someone said this, and I think it's so accurate. Denis Villeneuve took like super nerdy geek shit and turned it into like really sophisticated scientific, very visually appealing things like the ships, the costumes, all that stuff.
I'll look it up when the movie comes out, but I at this point I don't think so. I feel like I would have heard about it.
Yeah.
Here on Caladan, we've ruled by air power and sea power. On Arrakis, we need to cultivate desert power. I want you sitting in on my council. Learn what I do.
Yeah, Leto Atreides is the most correct.
Not what? And if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be.
And he's a good ass dad.
Yeah. I was literally saying the same thing.
My son, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Come on. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's very good choreo.
Yeah. This kid's lucky. He's got these like uncle figures
I know.
all
that
over
are
the
badasses.
place. Yeah.
And that line, the slow blade penetrates the shield, lets us know how it works.
Vulnerability. Yeah.
But he says it like
like
it's a saying.
Right.
So it doesn't feel like it's clunky dialogue where he's explaining something that they would both know what it is.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I just saw Madam Web this morning, so it's just like this movie
What
is
an upgrade.
fucking
What an
incredible.
upgrade.
It makes this movie seem 1,000 times
incredible.
better than
This
it
is
is.
a 20 out of 10.
Yes.
This is how you make a movies.
Is John Spates the writer on this one? I think him and Villeneuve. Sure, right?
Jesus Christ himself wrote this.
Hollywood Jesus.
So that's like a portal.
Yeah. So cool.
It's 3D, Adam. You don't have to reach at it, buddy. Adam went like this.
Get some lint flying around.
Damn, that's pretty epic.
Dude, this movie in IMAX is insane. It was so loud, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
All those ladies look like they were wearing trash bags.
Yeah.
She wants to know about your dreams.
How does she know about my dreams? Why is Dr. Yue here?
He only needs a moment.
Dr. Yue.
This is a really fun thing too in this world. Is it like humans have evolved to like without needing machines or computers, can just kind of read a person like, oh, you're stressed.
Oh, you have heart disease.
Yeah, I think that's so funny.
It's day 5 of blue balls. You need to get that fixed.
Sir.
That's awesome.
His heart is strong as ever, my lady.
You know, little moment and a connection there, and then she has her own language.
Yeah.
that they
That's
both understand.
2 different languages right there.
Defiance in the eyes, like his father. Leave us.
This is where I stopped watching the old movie after this scene.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just like, ugh, I can't.
You dismissed my mother in her own house.
Come here.
Oof.
That's some Vavitch shit.
Put your right hand in the box.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Kiss
Mother bade you.
my royal ass.
Nope.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
So the only thing I don't know is I don't understand what the device is doing to his hand.
It's all psychic, dude.
Maybe burning it. Maybe
it's like an empty box,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think it's all psychic.
Mental.
She's like just putting the most painful experience in his mind.
It's probably not. Yeah, you're probably right.
Like I
It's
wasn't sure
probably
if
not
she was like
physical pain.
physically doing something to his hand.
Probably not. That shit hurts so much. You went cross-eyed. Look at him. We went cross-eyed. Oh.
That's what it was. I just looked something up. This actress was gonna play Rebecca in Jodorowsky's Dune.
Oh,
He was
really?
gonna make Dune
Oh,
back
wow.
even before David Lynch.
Yeah.
If you had been unable to control your impulse,
What's the actress's name?
Animal, we could not let you live.
It's like
Charlotte Rampling.
Rampling. Yeah.
Well, because I'm a Duke's son.
Because you are Jessica's son. You have more than one birthright, boy. Jessica?
You're a Jedi.
She opened the door basically as she said her name because she's mentally already.
Instantly, yeah.
You've been training him in the way.
They're Mandalorians?
Stay away.
And then Oscar Isaac has been training him in the way.
Yeah, that's right.
In the orderly way.
She's basically saying like Paul being his mother's son is more important than him being his father's
Yeah,
son.
of course.
You
Yeah.
often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them.
Not exactly.
Goodbye, young human. I hope you live.
Good day, Flemwad.
Also, when he was like fighting it off, Hans Zimmer in this movie, he cooks, dude.
If he is the one, he has a long way to go. His sight is barely awakened, and now he goes into the fire. But our plans are measured in centuries. We have other prospects. If he fails his promise.
These like all
There
of
is
these
another.
Yeah, all these types of stories are very
On Arrakis,
reminiscent of one another, right? It's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
That's why Star Wars, you know, Anakin Skywalker's great fall, all these sorts of things. But it's fun to see the same types of storytelling done from different perspectives, but also just done in different types of universes.
Right.
Fantasy versus sci-fi.
A mind powerful enough to put space and time
And this
future.
prophesized one was a male, but she was explicitly told to just have daughters.
Right.
But
Very close now.
Jessica has a little bit of an ego, and she was like, I think I can be the
She's
mom.
like, I
of
got
this.
this. I got this.
I think my baby the one.
And it's not by luck. The Bene Gesserit can literally like control their own molecules to the level of she can decide what sex her child will be born.
Yeah, she's basically the goddess of midichlorians.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So she chose to have a boy.
Yeah.
And the other Bene Gesserit women were like,
What the fuck?
they were like, bitch, what are you
How
thinking?
dare you?
That wasn't supposed. Like they expected Jessica to have a daughter
Right.
who would then
Keep
maybe
going,
have
keep
the
going.
son.
Right.
Like, but Jessica was like, no, I want to do it.
Yeah. I want to be the mama of the one.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the grandma of the chosen one. I want to be the mamas of the chosen one.
I'm the mama. I'm the mama.
Pointing at us.
Yep.
What are they showing?
Again, Denis making the most geeky shit cool.
Yeah.
Voice from the outer world. It's their name for Messiah.
Dune Messiah.
It means the Bene Gesserit have been at work here.
Planting superstition.
Damn.
I think the only way to watch this movie is with subtitles because these names are hard to remember.
We were watching it on Sunday, and I really had to pay attention to what they were saying because sometimes they mumble too, and it's a little hard to hear.
There's a lot of whispering.
Yeah.
There's a lot of closeness in this film.
Yeah.
And I like how Frank Herbert's take on this is like religion in this future is specifically to Bene Gesserit planting lies.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they work in centuries. That's their plan.
Right. Their timeline is centuries long.
So they have, in some ways, convinced the like native people of this planet, Arrakis or Dune, that there will be a prophesized.
Right.
You know.
Locals call the big one the Hand of God. Well, the Hand of God is wreaking havoc on our comms.
This is fun 3D too with that little
Yeah.
transparent circle in the middle.
That's what worries me too.
These are cool. Just incredible design in this film.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's insane.
Honestly,
There's a spaceport, and that plume of dust there is the spice refinery.
Yeah, I think he finished Blade Runner in 2017 and went almost straight into this.
Yep.
But like the 2 years of working all this out before it came out really paid off. All the detail work.
What is your name?
Oh, great scene.
The rest of you may go. Thank you.
Also, like the edges are pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Pretty
a corpse
impressed.
are? She Fleming.
You know the ancient tongues.
I know many things. I know that you have a weapon concealed in your body. If you mean to harm me,
That's so cool.
I must warn you, whatever you're hiding, it won't be enough.
The weapon is meant as a gift. If you are truly the one.
Oh, she's caught off guard. She's caught off guard. She thought she had this lady.
Yeah.
Like this is.
She's
I
like,
love
I'm
this.
gonna get you.
Thought you were gonna kill me.
It's a grist knife.
A grease knife.
Do you know?
You get those for Christmas. Be ready for violence. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it made from the teeth of a sandworm?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Or
a tooth. That's a tooth of a
A
sandworm.
tephus?
A toothless tephus.
I think I might also be misremembering it. I'm gonna reread this book. I think after I see part 2.
Yeah.
But I think Shadow Mapes is a character. She's got a little bit bigger of a role.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of the book, we're like spending time and the family
Right,
settling
right,
in,
right.
and you're,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we're on Arrakis, and they're like learning the
Months,
politics.
days, weeks,
Yeah.
whatever. And the movie's like, hey, I got 3 hours to get through
And
this.
then, you know, the attack happens.
Yeah.
But
Isn't the
I
first book like 700 pages?
It's a long boy.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I remember that character from the book, and I
Yeah.
liked her. And unfortunately, she only has this one scene. But I think that actress is great and has a really impactful. You know, when she starts wailing, I was like, "Whoa, what the?"
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
happening? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
But it's like her religion.
Yeah.
It's not really because it's a lie, but it's her religion.
Hello.
It's 8,000 degrees out here?
We out here.
You're going to combust?
They're out here.
I was also told that this actor who's
Fremen pilgrims.
watering the palm trees passed away before the film came out, or a little bit after, or something, which is a
bummer.
bummer. Yeah.
I don't know date palms could even be found out here. Oh.
Guys, I didn't know until last year that dates grew on palms.
Adam,
Swear to God.
my wedding was at a date palm farm.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah,
Cool.
I didn't look at the invite. Apparently, I just showed up.
We remove them. Save the water.
No. These are sacred. Old dream.
Huh.
And it's interesting because he's kind of speaking on behalf of the native people there.
Right.
What is sacred to them also just represents like wealth and inequality, because those take water that people could use to live.
Yeah,
right.
There's so
And they
little
give it
water.
to the palm
They
trees.
literally live on a desert rock.
And not just that, they make them so you should never water a palm or any plant at the hottest part of the day.
Yeah, it's funny.
Because the water is just going to evaporate.
yeah, and they do it in the hot
And they
part of the
do
day.
it, yeah.
Cultivated deep-rooted terrarium plants, such as saguaro.
This stuff in
Those
3D
are
is really
all
great.
actual real plants.
Jesus, Augustine.
Yeah, dude, that's what happens when you own
Hey,
a house.
he's got those dad facts.
you know those dad facts.
Uh-ohs.
Oh, Nikes.
This is so cool in 3D.
Yeah,
Like there's
It is.
floating.
yeah, that
so
thing's
cool.
rad.
I wonder what the Firefly, why the Firefly has such deep representation in Dune.
Maybe we'll find out in the next movie.
Yeah, or I feel like Frank Herbert would have that answer.
This looks more like a mosquito, though.
Does it? Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right.
And then
It's also a survivor of the desert.
Yeah.
They've adapted to live.
Nope.
Hey, watchale. Oh,
there she is again.
Pretty impressive. They caught that fucking thing and didn't get poked. He's sweating.
I
He's like,
love
oh
that.
God.
Agent was submitted into that hole 6 weeks ago. Ran the hunter seeker through a wall.
that's the Apple Vision Pro in
Yeah,
10,000
there you
years.
go. Wait, he was in the wall for 6 weeks?
Yes.
Jesus.
Barely surviving, waiting for these guys to show up.
Yeah.
I am my honor demand.
They tried to take the life of my son! I don't give a damn about your honor. You want absolution? Go catch some spies.
Those motherfuckers.
Your Grace. I love that.
Grace.
They are
Business.
Grace. Let's go.
Thing must leave.
This thing with hands.
You can speak without fear. Our pet doesn't understand your language.
Get out.
This is a person who's been genetically modified to be like that.
Yeah. Spooter.
Activate.
It's Madam Web.
That's crazy.
This is what some Twitter people need. A shield so nobody can hear them.
House Harkonnen would never dream of violating the sanctity of your order. I give you my word.
That's a lie.
I will not harm them.
I wonder if she knows that that's a lie.
Yeah, right?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
The desert takes the weak.
Yeah, I hate him.
My desert. My Arrakis.
Flex.
That's
Scary.
crazy.
It's scary.
Weird.
And in the 80s
I love
movie,
it.
he floats around and it's really goofy.
Yeah,
and in the
it's
book,
really
he has like a
goofy.
little flying harness and it
Oh,
doesn't
really?
seem that spooky.
Yeah,
and then
that
you watch
shit looks
this.
scary.
Ooh.
Keep an eye on you.
Oh, the seats float. I didn't realize that till right now.
Let's get started.
I hate to say it, but
Thufir.
Pedro should not have been
I secured a copy of
Reed
the
Richards.
account.
Should have been Oscar. Should have
He
been
would have been
Oscar
great
Isaac.
too. He would have been great too.
Should have.
How bad is it?
Yeah, all this gear is just wrecked.
Yeah, another thing I was told was that Denis Villeneuve or somebody saw somebody on set with that little parasol, and he was like, "We got to put this in the movie."
Really? Yeah. That's amazing.
I love that thing.
I want to see these harvesting fields myself.
I wouldn't recommend it, my lord.
Have this judge of the change accompany us. Meeting's long overdue, and we'll get a bit of Imperial protection.
A hostage. He's here, my lord.
Also, I'm sure a lot of people know this by now, but they didn't use blue or green screens. They used beige screens.
Beige screens.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Denis Villeneuve didn't want the blue or green reflecting onto all their clothes
Yeah.
and all the props and stuff. Which I'm like, visual effects artists must have
Yeah, I know.
freaking
They must have hated it.
that. But goddamn, they did amazing work.
Yeah.
Like all the VFX artists who worked on this should be so proud of this movie.
I
Because
agree.
the seams are seamless.
I agree. He's my favorite character in the movie. Still
so
got.
good.
Gifted their body's moisture. They accepted in the spirit in which it was given.
Like Duncan, you should have told them beforehand that he's gonna spit.
You should have communicate that early because that's important.
Yeah.
I'm glad you come.
Spit is so gross to me, dude. I fucking hate when I see people spit outside, dude.
For the spice you take it, giving nothing in return.
And he should have been Dr. Doom.
There's still time.
Hey, there's
I know
time.
you've suffered at the hands of the Harkonnen.
Oh, can you imagine him and Pedro Pascal?
Dude, are you kidding me? These two, Reed Richards and Dr. Doom on screen right
so
now?
hard.
Oh.
I cannot promise not to travel into the desert if duty compels me. You will never be hunted while I govern here.
That's very honorable. That's all I have to say to you.
We would honor you.
Honor requires that I be elsewhere.
Ooh. It's good. It's a good moment. It's a good moment.
Wild revelation.
Takes a clever piece of clockwork to sort it out.
That's cool analog tech that still looks futuristic.
Sand compactors and all kinds of ingenious things.
What the hell is a sand compactor?
That's a sand compactor.
My God, man, you've gone native.
Oh, thank you.
That's crazy.
This is why I would never live on Arrakis or Tatooine or any of those planets.
No, none of that.
Your permission, sire, I must check the integrity of your system.
It's all right.
Jumpy.
This guy over here too, like me too.
Yeah.
I'm protecting.
I want to feel
I'm
part of the
protecting.
group
I have
too.
a knife too. Look.
It recycles the water lost to sweat. Your body's movements provide the power.
Just don't pee in it.
Inside the mask, you'll find a tube to allow you to drink the recycled water.
Oh no, you can pee in it.
You can.
You drink your own pee.
You can pee in it.
Yeah.
Worn a still suit before?
No, this is my first time.
Wish they could have
Your desert boots are fitted slip fashion at the ankles. Who taught you to do that?
shown this a little better because
You can't even see the difference.
exactly. I'm like, Oscar Isaac, his suit looks the same as.
Yeah.
Are you from it?
See, it's just superstitious people continuing to repeat the prophecy, and it just so happens to line up with Paul.
Why don't we just shield the crawlers?
A shield's a death sentence in the desert. It attracts the worms and drives them into a killing frenzy.
Oh, we don't like that. We don't like that.
Is that a worm?
That's foreshadowing for something.
That's insane. Like, how often are you pulling these things out of the sand? Just worms all the time, I feel
They'll
like.
call a cattle harvest right up to the last minute.
Not this time.
I don't think this scene is in the book, but it's a way to show that they were left or sabotaged with faulty
Right.
equipment,
By
like
the Harkonnens.
on purpose by the Harkonnens. It shows, it's teasing the worm, and it's showing like, okay, like the Atreides family's supposed to go and get spice out of the
Right.
sand. Like this is what they're supposed to do to make money.
Life or death, yeah.
So I think these things were set up in the book in other ways or explained in other ways. And
he stepped on the sand.
Yeah. After she talks about how he like puts his coveralls on the boots, I'm like, so what's different about them?
What's the difference?
What? How does everybody else put them on?
He did it like a Fremen.
Yeah,
like
well,
what did
how
everybody?
how else did they do it?
Yeah. Cole.
Wait, that's it? They're just gonna leave it?
Yeah.
That's right.
I say it like I haven't seen this movie yet. Granted, I've only seen it once, so.
Yeah.
Oh, so if these worms are always in the sand, how high are these worms? They're just high all the time?
Dude, the worms make it the spice.
It's the poop.
It is.
Oh, that's what they're saying. Yep. That's the magic word. That's what the lady called him.
The Kwisatz
Haderach. He awakes.
Yep.
Damn. Just for this sequence alone, it's worth buying a 3D TV.
Seriously.
You have responsibilities. I'm sorry, sir. What happened again? Go.
I love that dadding.
Yeah.
I love that dadding.
Yeah. You learn a lesson? All right, I love you, son. Go.
It has compassion, but it's like, dude.
He needs to be stern with him,
Yeah.
Been set up to fail.
That carryall was just old. Desert isn't kind to equipment.
He could be right.
He knows.
But Liet Kynes could also be right. Like she could,
Well, yeah,
like she's
yeah.
like, it's just old.
To take good care of your family.
She was working with the Harkonnen
Desert's not kind to humans either.
because she's a scientist. She's just been on the planet for a while.
Yeah.
And she's allowed in the Fremen cities and camps, and allowed in the Can you?
Yeah, I mean,
feel
like that's not bad. Like, look at all those strands of hair.
All the strands.
So much. They're making out. We're like, yeah, the strands on the hair are great.
Really,
my God, them curls are just so full and lush.
Is it?
We're watching Zendaya.
Oh no, she stabbed in him.
Stabbed it in him.
Guys, is it too obvious to cast Timothee Chalamet as Harry Osborn? Is that too obvious?
No, that's good. That's a good one.
Here's the thing, though.
That would actually be kind of perfect.
I do kind of want the Osborns to be black.
Yeah.
Because that cartoon show that hasn't come out yet, Spider-Man Freshman Year or Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Norman Osborn's like a black guy. So I'm like, I'd like Norman and Harry to be black.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be interesting if Peter Parker meets a Norman Osborn, but he's black. Because he goes, oh, you're not the same Norman Osborn that killed my Aunt May. He was a white guy. I trusted him. But then Norman's still Norman. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't have trusted him. He's Norman Osborn. Oh, this is crazy. He can psychically tell his mother's pregnant. Yep.
I forgot about that detail when I watched it on Sunday.
Weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What the heck?
Hey, Duke. Throat singing.
This is just like unsettling.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard an actual throat singer?
No.
They're Mongolian in origin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And they sound crazy. There's
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
rock bands.
Yeah.
Oh my
that they're
gosh.
It's kind of fun not knowing the book because not knowing her fate and watching the trailers. Be like, I don't see much of her in there.
She is. I have heard this from huge Dune fans. She is the fan favorite character.
Oh, wow.
The most interesting character with the backdrop. Here's something important to know. They're not married.
Right.
If anything happens, will you protect our son?
With my life.
I'm not asking his mother. I'm asking the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
Don't ask her about her work.
This is not you.
But she can read him. She knows he's like freaking out right now.
Yeah.
So she is technically his like royal concubine. And she was sent there by the Bene Gesserit. And he never got married because he wouldn't be allowed to marry her, but he would be allowed to marry somebody from some other house, but he never did because he loved her.
Right. That looks comfortable as hell, though. Not gonna lie.
That was Dr. Yue walking out, I think. Dang, dude, like they're getting attacked tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
we ain't
yeah.
wasting no time.
No time at all.
It feels like it's only been like literally one day that they've been there.
Oh, shout out Mapes.
Oh no.
Because what did Gurney say about the blade? Slowest blade.
The slow blade penetrates.
Penetrates, yeah.
Shield.
This is epic as hell.
Yeah.
And devastating.
Wow.
I also just love the lighting. They're not concerned about like they're totally cool with the silhouettes.
They're not concerned with key lighting.
Right.
They're letting the explosions light the scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, help me. Carry me, Papa Berlin.
That's crazy.
Wow, look at that explosion. That looks good.
It's like the beginning of the X-Men show.
With bagpipes.
Yeah. I like how the Atreides just look like normal dudes.
Yeah.
Normal dudes and ladies, but like these like Salusa Secundar people are from like a prison planet.
Yeah,
like they're like fucking mercenaries. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, you see the little death hits. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh.
And then these dudes that like drop in.
Yeah.
That's epic.
Spooky.
This is probably the most tragic
character
and
Yes,
like
Dr. Yue.
reason of why this character had to die. But also, he should have known that they weren't gonna keep your wife alive. Come on, man.
And they're not gonna reunite you. Come on. Come on.
When he said they take her apart like a doll, apparently that spider creature is his
the
wife. Yes.
Wow.
And they have tortured her like.
He got a little drug in the drink.
Oh no, the palms.
The date palms.
You know how much water we wasted on those fucking things?
Yep.
Slow stab, death.
Yep.
What a bro. My boy Paul.
He looks very swashbuckly right now.
They're not allowed to harm them.
A truth sayer.
Yeah, and they can't lie because they might face a Bene Gesserit truth sayer.
Yeah.
Which like they'd be able to pull the truth.
Yep.
Whoa.
That is crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
They just run away.
You can really hear the music in this mix as we're watching this movie. Like, I'm really appreciating it.
And you know,
He ain't gonna be in Doom Part 2.
Cut the rope.
that's so scary.
Give me your Doom popcorn bucket. Fucking hate running through sand.
Yeah, it's the worst.
The worst.
What do we do now?
This is Dr. Yue's handwriting.
Lord of the Rings is just a copy of the Bible. No, I'm kidding. It's all a copy of itself.
Yeah.
Deliver my wife from Arrakis.
First time I realized he had legs. I thought he was gonna have like some like worm like
Jabba the Hutt body. Yeah.
That I'd set her free. That you could join her. So join her.
Evil guy.
Come on, Dr. Yue, you should have known better.
Everybody should have known better. He's read a book. You know, Dr. Yue has read a non-fiction or a fiction book.
Killed everybody in that room.
Gumby. No.
So creepy.
That's some Vivitch stuff.
So he and Chani go back to
Caladan.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be the reason, like an intergalactic war star. Can you imagine that pressure and like seeing it and knowing it?
Worshipping at the shrine of my father's skull. A war in my name.
Yeah, dude, I could not imagine.
My name. Get off me!
Yo!
You did this to me.
That's your mama.
Bene Gesserit made me a freak.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Ooh, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's cool because I feel like the Bene Gesserit part of him and just in general in this universe, they make it feel very horror-esque. Like the Force feels very sort of like whimsical and light. That shit is horrific.
Yeah.
Next time you stay in the Fun V. We know.
My man.
My man Duke.
My man Duke.
My man Duke.
I will take care of you until my dying day. I'll let you piss in my mouth as if you were my own child. Remember Aquaman 2, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, that movie is bad.
That horrible.
What says the touch of the change? The Emperor forbids me from saying anything at all.
And yet you risk your life to help us.
Interesting. I forgot that Liet Kynes, I guess, like works for the Emperor or works with the Emperor.
To fit our visitors.
Yes, Liet.
Shamir, coffee service, please.
Of course, Liet.
Hey, at least they still drink coffee in 10,013 or whatever there was. They should make this as a real thing. I'd buy it.
Ew, no, dude, because you got to spit in it.
They spit in that thing. Well, I mean, you can use water.
Pour some water on top of it. You're good.
The Emperor feared the Atreides. He brought you here to kill you. What don't you understand? You're a lost boy hiding in a hole in the ground.
Yeah, stupid kid.
How old is Paul supposed to be? Do you know?
Stupid little boy.
Like early 20s?
I think so. I'll check.
That's amazing. Clap, clap, clap. That's some ninja shit.
When filming began, Timothee Chalamet was 24.
What?
Mm-hmm.
The last guy got him. Oh! I run on Duncan, bitch!
There's that vision.
Pobrecito.
He died. That's cool. 3D. The light beams. The light.
Hector wants to jungle gym on those things.
It's cool that they teased this whole thing. And then we see it come to fruition in part 2.
That sounds great, Nick.
It does.
Yeah. It's such a satisfying little thud as it hits the
I need
ground.
to play this just when I go to bed.
Just the sound.
Oh,
no.
Liet. No, Liet.
Also, I don't know if you guys have seen videos of what happens when you blow air through sand, but it acts like water.
Oil and vinegar?
Yeah, that looks like 10W30.
I could go for some bread right now.
Ew.
Dip.
Nothing survives such a storm. They're dead. It's a certainty.
Wrong choice of words, my friends.
Stone finally sent word to Katie Prime to begin selling us spies.
What? I need to know what that liquid actually is.
We don't want the price.
Because I can't stand the fact that it's in his mouth.
We can't walk like regular humans. If we
Gotta dance into the night.
call the sand walk.
Remember, this is what Fatboy Slim told us. Remember?
What?
If you walk without rhythm, you won't attract the worm.
That's hilarious.
So you have to walk like...
Immediately no. Immediately no.
No. Not gonna do it.
No gracias. It's so crazy. Having just watched this movie on Sunday, I came into this going, I just watched this. This is going to be so long. This movie goes by fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's so good.
He's from sand.
Run! At this point, it doesn't matter. Just run.
They found you. Cool. How can you hope to outrun that thing, though? You can't.
No.
liquefies all the sand around it.
Yeah.
So you can't. You cannot even run if you wanted to. Rock. Oh, you can't eat rocks.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh, it's so big.
You don't talk about the 3D giving you abs.
Seriously.
Whoa. Imagine getting killed by one of those things. That would be so weird.
Clearly haven't seen Mission Impossible Fallout.
You haven't heard her talk like a Vavitch.
We're a weirding woman and a fighter.
Conversation ran short.
Give me water in my pants. Please. 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 Please.
I would not have let you hurt my friends.
Oh, they all cleaned the knife because it's a very important artifact. Those crystal
No,
knives?
I thought they were cutting themselves.
No, they're cleaning it.
Give it to me. See that they are sick of the journey.
Chani. Yeah, Zendaya comes in at like the 2 hour and 20 minute mark of this movie, like officially, and then she's just in the dreams.
Yeah.
Good move. That was a good move. So scary.
See, I wish I would have had subtitles.
Yeah.
While I watched this the first time, because I didn't know they were speaking English.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Yep. Oh, he stabbed him.
So now he is also learning about his visions, where he's like, "Oh, hey, it's not what I thought it was going to be."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which I think is
also
important.
killed for the first time. So he's like, this is new and traumatic.
Which I think is important because in all the other media that we watch, most times when people have premonitions, it's because it's like, that's true.
That's how it's going to go.
That's what's
yeah.
going to happen. But this time it didn't, and it showed it very, very quickly.
Yeah.
He also, I think, is going to struggle with, well, what's going to come true? I don't want there to be intergalactic war.
Right.
So does that mean I should step up and be the leader?
Or do I
hang back?
That's what makes the story interesting.
Yeah.
It's that conflict.
He's really...
No.
My father came for spice, for the strength of your people. My road leads into the desert.
Dude, that's like a ballsy thing to declare.
Yeah.
He's 15. He just killed a guy.
For the first time. And then he's like,
Mom's like, you don't understand.
You got to get out of here.
My son, you're soft. You can't handle the desert life. Like, I'm trying to get you back to a planet that has water that you can take a shower in.
That's insane. What's she doing?
Paul, that is insane.
That is buck wild nasty.
Buck nasty. Buck nasty.
That's me. He's shredding on that one.
That's gnarly.
That's buck nasty.
That'd be so funny if Jessica was like, oh, that is so sick.
That's Narnar.
Oh, that's Narnar. Look at how sick that is. Paul, look at him.
Oh my god.
Look at that Fremen. Catching some sick dudes. Paul, that's tight.
Dune.
That's good shit. Dune.
Paul, that shit is dope.
Oh,
that
Paul,
shit is
look at
dope.
him. He
Look
is
at that.
shredding.
He's straight shredding.
That's so tight.
On that Dune.
It's one of those rare movies where I like literally don't have any notes.
I mean, I understand.
And I also haven't read the book.
Right.
I understand criticism of this movie, but I think that I've seen people have the same criticism about the book itself.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting when people kind of break down the story and they're talking about how, for example, Frank Herbert was very influenced by Middle Eastern culture, like our real world Middle Eastern, North African cultures. And there is, I don't think there's any like Middle Eastern languages spoken in this, but we got Mandarin. So, people, I remember when this movie came out, had the very valid criticism of like, there's no Middle Eastern actors really in this with any kind of significant roles other than like background actors or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I wonder if the story would have been more interesting, impactful if there was another layer on top of, if like some of the Fremen were Middle Eastern, you know. But then again, it's sort of like it's tricky because it's like Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar.
Yeah.
He specifically makes it not about one specific culture, so it can kind of represent all cultures.
Right.
That's what he uses the Na'vi for. So then you've got some like Samoan or Pacific Islander, like what's his name, Cliff Curtis in The Way of Water, and he's doing like the Hakas and stuff, and it's super cool. And then also Kate Winslet's there, and she's like doing an accent, and you're like, I don't know if that's okay, but it's also like, it's also like, but also it's not a real culture, but inspired.
Right.
So
a Polynesian man can marry a white woman.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They don't have to be the same.
That's true.
Right.
So a Polynesian Na'vi married a white Na'vi. And you know,
and they're all blue.
And she's just kind of down, and she's been hanging out, and they're all blue and stuff. So like at that level, some of those criticisms, also the criticisms of like, could they have changed things around from the story, adapted them in a different way to make this even more satisfying, maybe a little shorter, maybe. I'm like, I think so, but again, we just watched it. Every scene in this is pretty important to the story.
I also do feel like when I see those conversations online, it's people judging the movie for what they want it to be, not for what it is sometimes.
I get that.
And as much as I'm like, 2 hours and 40 minutes is a lengthy film, but there is a lot of lore.
Yes, there is.
Imagine if they tried to take that entire 700 whatever odd page book,
put it into one
2.5 hour movie. It would be a very dissatisfying experience.
I agree.
I feel like there is the rise of Twitter and the rise of social media has made it so obviously we can communicate. It's essential to our lives.
Right.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, there are people making noise out there who have no idea and don't have any media literacy when it comes to these kinds of things. Like I've seen people, I don't know why, but lately my feed has been a lot of people, I'm off Twitter, but on Instagram has been a lot of like film reviewers and stuff like that. And it's been all negative, and they all have been like talking trash about movies here and there, movies that I like, and there's movies that I agree with them on, but at the same time there's no substance as to why they don't like these things. Like it's not it's never a valid criticism. It's always it's always like a personal attack to them, which I think is where people need to learn how to kind of draw the line. Like,
I agree. I agree.
So and here's another Lord of the Rings connection that I'm making is J.R.R. Tolkien did not write Lord of the Rings for anybody else but himself.
Right.
He almost didn't even want to release those stories because that was a world that he was building for himself. And then all of a sudden people read it and people love it, and then they start owning it, and like ultimately, yes, be a fan, enjoy these things, love those things, but originally it was not created for you. It was a story created for J.R.R. Tolkien, for him to feel like a writer. He wasn't even a writer. He was an English teacher. He was a language teacher, which is why the story came about in the first place. He just wanted to create cool languages.
It was his passion.
And so all of a sudden this story sprouts out of nowhere, and obviously it's a beloved story. It was a game changer as far as like fantasy stuff goes, but it's not ours. Like Star Wars is not ours. Like all of these the MCU, all these comic book stories are not ours. We are fans of them, but they are ultimately not ours. And I think when you kind of break that from the creators, it kind of frees you up as like, okay, well, they went this specific way with the decision that they're making. I may not agree with that, but maybe that's the route that Spider-Man has to take. Maybe that's the route that this story has to take to get to a point where it's all of a sudden going to be incredible.
And it's especially tricky with this for two things. Number one, it's also like a part one,
right?
So it's
not
hard
done.
And then number two, it's kind of what you guys are talking about, and what Adam said, where like it feels as though you watch this film and it's like, man, what issues could people have with it? And I think what you're saying is like, you really have to dig through a lot of the crap to get to some like valid film analysis and criticism from established and professional like movie critics. You know, when criticism is important and to breaking that stuff down. But you kind of do have to dig to find some of that stuff. And the other thing I'll say about this movie is that even at this peak level, this story is just not for everybody.
Right.
It's not gonna grab everybody. You know, I just showed this movie in 3D
to your mom.
To my mom.
She said no,
she didn't like it. She said she didn't like it.
Right.
No, I had some people over to the house and we watched it, and they're friends of mine, and they're all like smart movie people, and we were talking about it and talking about the movie and talking about everything that it did. And at the end of the night, they were still like, yeah, it's still just not my thing.
Yeah.
Like, but not like
but you could have a conversation realization about it.
Completely acknowledging like so many decisions in this movie are like the best decision they could have made.
Yeah.
And they still, people are just not going to be into that world, into the characters, and for whatever reason. But
and I think that sometimes is the most difficult part when you talk about movies with other people. Sometimes people, they can't get that through their head that like not everything is for them. And to them, if it's not for me, then it's not good.
Then
I'm like, well, no, that's not true at all. If it's not for you, then it just means that there's something else out there that's even more for you. And I would have never thought that a movie like Dune would be for me. Never in a million years, because even just knowing a little bit of what I knew about the story, I thought, I don't know. I just don't know if that's really going to vibe with me. I gave the movie a shot, honestly, because it was Denis Villeneuve. That was the only reason. And then we went to go see it, and we walked out. We were like, that was incredible.
It's a modern classic. It's an instant modern classic.
That was and on top of that, it's a cinematic experience.
It really
like,
is.
if you don't see it in theaters, fine, but you really are hurting. You're hurting the how the story will impact you if you're watching it just at home, kind of passively.
And you have access to your phone. And, I agree. I mean, that's how I was when I first read the book. I was like, man, this is really well written. Frank has really put in the work, like all the world building. And I closed the book and I was like, it's just not for me. Like I couldn't connect to it. And then I even saw the 80s film, couldn't connect to it. That was real, like, interesting,
but this bad boy.
And then I saw this, and I went, I really like this take on the material.
I mean,
really
it's the same with me in Star Trek. Wasn't into Star Trek. I would catch it on TV, and I'm like, this is just not for me. Then I see JJ Star Trek, and I'm like, cool. You found a way to make it interesting to me.
There you go.
Whether it was a visual element or musically or whatever.
I'm gonna say something controversial. I like the movies of the Lord of the Rings better than the books.
Oh, me too.
100%. Like I feel like the way that they distilled the story down and really kind of chopped it up into its elements, I feel like that's a really cohesive story. And there are some times in Lord of the Rings, the books, where I'm just like, just fucking move on.
Just get to the point.
I know you want to like talk about this language, but get to the point, bro.
Okay, we've described that tree about 50 different ways.
I'm on page 5 of the tree trunk. Get over it.
Of describing a tree. I'm like, no, man, let's go.
That's funny.
Let's move along.
And I think that's the power of film sometimes is you can do all of that. You can do 8 pages of description with one shot sometimes if you're lucky.
Exactly.
If it's a talented enough filmmaker, in 1 to 2 shots, you can get the point across. You're like,
really good point.
Damn, that's beautiful. Because of the way it's lit, the way the shot's composed, the way the camera moves, whatever it is.
Really good point.
So I don't know. I haven't met too many people in person who have seen this and don't like this movie.
Me neither. Me neither.
You know, thankfully.
Your mom.
Yeah, I guess your mom.
You guys have met my mom. That's
truthfully, even my mom, who is usually not into sci-fi fantasy, she watched it and she was like, that was a really good movie.
Cool.
She was like, there's a lot I didn't understand, but it was really good. I was really like vibing with what the movie was like giving me. So
I think this movie is also an opportunity for people to go into maybe not a lot of people like to explore outside of the genres that they normally watch and be surprised by a movie like this. Because I know I was. Like, generally, obviously, I love sci-fi stuff. But no connection to this franchise. I just knew that the books were called Dune, and that's it. That's the only thing I knew about this franchise. And to come out of this movie so shocked and so surprised that it was so damn good, I think that's the power of filmmaking, and I think that's the power of like cinema. You know, suddenly a story hits for you and told by through a specific set of eyes. And that's what's really rad.
And I think this movie, the quality of the movie, also shows that you can do these big budget sci-fi fantasy movies, and they can still look as seamless, and the quality can be at a level 10 from start to finish. It's possible. You just got to give the movie and the creators and the artists time,
but also
to do it, and you have to have the vision to
feel
execute
solid
it.
And be cohesive all the way through, and make you think. And make you have a discussion like this about cinema in general. Like I think the movie is bigger than the sci-fi itself. I think it made a hit in like cinema. I think it made an impact in like modern storytelling, because I'm going to talk about Lord of the Rings all night. I feel like Lord of the Rings was kind of like the end of an era where practical effects met CG effects. And that's where like even when it went to The Hobbit, like it was all CG effects. And there was even
the feeling of those movies changed.
Ian McKellen was like, he was sad filming that, because he's like, I didn't sign up to be in front of a green screen all day, basically. And so now to see a film like this where we're deep into the full CG environments, but to make them look and feel, to make my mouth dry by looking at them because they're in the desert, it's effective.
How they shot it, how they filmed it.
It's really effective. So
and it goes to show that those old skills of models and matte paintings, or
it's
taking the concept of a matte painting and bringing it to a modern setting with CG, it's still valid. It still works.
As
and it still
legit
seamlessly
as
makes the
day
movie.
one. Dude. As legit as day one. So,
Absolutely. Can't wait to do this for part 2. It'll be a lot of fun. But of course, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about Dune Part 1? Are you looking forward to seeing Part 2? And if you're not going to see an IMAX 70mm, I'm sorry that there isn't one near you. But try to find it in the biggest, best sound system you can possibly
come to
find.
LA. Adam will take you.
Yeah,
personally.
I'll take you. Let's go. We'll do it. But check out all the other reactions as well. Check out the Check Sense podcast, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.